right off the top, I think about the Kids Can Catch events. So we're fortunate we got our winter one taken care of out of Wobman. So that happened before all of this COVID-19 issues came up. So we had close to 1,000 people there. Well, we expect similar numbers in June in Fort Saskatchewan. June is a ways away, so I'm hopeful between now and then things are sort of more under control and we can go back to having some large groups. But if by the middle of June we're not in that situation, then we're clearly not going to be able to have a Kids Can Catch event. And of course, there's 20-some events occurring across the province with various numbers. Those might all get impacted, so that will be a pretty big issue for us for sure.
And of course, and again, we're looking down the road here, but you've got the 10th anniversary of the Tabor Pheasant Festival, and certainly there are banquets, there are social gatherings during that event, not to mention the fact that you've got hunters in different fields and getting together, that type of thing. Is that on the radar yet?
Well, it's been, we're trying to say, no, we're okay. That's a long ways off. We won't worry about that for now. But certainly that's in the back of our mind for sure. It's something where if this is still an issue by then, we'll have to change how everything happens at the event. We won't be able to have our novice shoot the first weekend where we get 100 kids there to do their first shoot. That clearly can't happen. We won't be able to have the fundraising event on the Thursday. I think we can still figure out how to get the pheasants on the ground and get people out to sites, because you're talking 3 or 4 hunters at a time on a site, so that should work well. And the upside is when you're out there hunting or fishing, you are social isolating in most cases. You have a couple of good friends or family, and that's really it. You're not standing in big crowds. So on the upside, maybe there's more people interested in doing hunting, fishing this year because they can't do anything else, basically, what it comes down to.
So at this point, in just keeping with the pheasant issue for a second, it's your intention that the hatchery program, the bringing in pheasants and all of that, raising them, releasing them, that's still a go?
So it is at this point in time. There's no issues with bringing the pheasants across the border with respect to bringing disease. Who knows what happens at the borders in the coming weeks if things start to get shut down. But, realistically, if transport across that border gets shut down for pheasants and other things, pheasants will be the least of our worries as a society as a whole. We'll have a lot more problems. But we are looking at things such as we have pheasant chicks coming here pretty soon. And we generally have, truckload shows up and a bunch of people will come and collect those. So we'll have to look at how we do that differently and try to avoid having larger groups of people. And realistically, just ensuring we're talking to the people about proper hygiene, making sure you're washing your hands, making sure if you do feel ill, don't show up, send somebody else, those kinds of things. This is stuff that Alberta Health Services is talking about. We'll just make sure it's imposed that much better and trying to ensure we're keeping people spread out as much as possible, not having big groups.
You make a great point, though. Opportunities for folks to get out on conservation lands, some of which ACA operate, others are maybe Alberta Fish and Game Association, that type of thing for folks to, if you're with your family or you're with someone that is healthy and fine, spending a day out. The outdoors is not closed, I guess, is the message. We need to get out there.
Yeah, and the reality is, the government has now shut down the schools. So I can imagine there's going to be kids going stir crazy because I've already heard from some of our staff their kids are really excited about having no school until they found out they've got nothing they can go do, though. It's not like they can head off to the rec center and play a game for the afternoon. They can't. Those are closed as well. So yeah, I would certainly, if people are looking for things to do, that's where to go get in the outdoors. You can still be relatively isolated and away from everybody else and get the family out and do something outdoors. Otherwise, we're going to have a more serious issue than coronavirus for sure. There's no doubt about it.
We've still got, ice conditions, depending on where you are, they're still looking pretty good. And of course, we've got the spring snow goose hunt that is underway or soon to be underway, and a couple of opportunities right there to get out and maybe enjoy if you've got the free time to go out and do it.
For sure. The ice conditions, particularly in central to northern Alberta, look pretty good still. And I would definitely encourage people to get out there. There's been a number of lakes where I've heard the whitefish and the burbot are biting really well right now, so you can certainly do that. And yeah, spring snow goose open March 15th. Based on, if you check out the Alberta Conservation Association website and you look under GPS snow goose tracking, you can see the geese we had tracked from last fall. I believe we've got 5 or 6 of them. They're still, the collars are still functioning, so they're starting to head back. I don't think we have, as of today, any of them back into Alberta yet, but they're on their way back, so it might be a couple weeks before we get them up into central to northern Alberta, but they could be arriving in southern Alberta in a couple of days here, so certainly something to take a look at. And again, it's something fun to do any spring. This spring it might be that much more fun because it might be the only thing you can do.